matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Tonight, a Russian missile attack may have struck Poland. Hear how the Pentagon is reacting. Plus, universities across the country are mourning the losses of their students. We have new information from both campuses. And could we see more snow this week? OU Nightly's Josh Duncan has those chances. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Addie Crawford.
And I'm Stone Weber. We begin tonight with breaking news. Tonight, the Pentagon is reacting to word that Russian missiles may have struck Poland, killing 2 people.
We get the latest on the situation from CNN's Chris Nguyen.
As air raid sirens ring across Ukraine, there are reports that 2 missiles or rockets struck Poland near the Ukrainian border, killing at least 2 people. It's unclear from where the projectiles originated, but they landed at roughly the same time as a Russian missile strike on western Ukraine. The incident occurring after Ukrainians were warned to expect more attacks from Russia.
Mostly on energy infrastructure. We can see what the enemy wants. They will not succeed.
Russian missiles struck about a dozen Ukrainian cities and districts on Tuesday, marking the largest wave of attacks on the country this month following several devastating rounds in October. Senior Ukrainian officials say at least half of the customers in Kyiv have no electricity after Russian strikes forced emergency outages. The attacks come after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky presented a 10-point peace plan to end Russia's invasion in a video speech to G20 leaders.
I am convinced now is the time when the Russian destructive war must and can be stopped.
The Pentagon spoke out this afternoon concerning the missile strikes.
When it comes to our security commitments and Article 5, we've been crystal clear that we will defend every inch of NATO territory.
Brigadier General Pat Ryder also commented that the Pentagon will wait to get all of the facts before taking any possible action. That includes confirming that the missiles are Russian, and if the strike was intentional, the White House also indicated it was working on confirmation.
We'll keep a close eye on that story and bring you the very latest on social media and tomorrow's OU Nightly.
And this week, we also need to keep a close eye on the weather. A little snow did fall last night in Norman, and we do have more of a chance later this week.
OU Nightly's Josh Duncan is live on the South Oval with a first look at our forecast.
Yeah, Stone, Addie, it was mostly a rain event here in the Oklahoma City metro on Monday, but some snowflakes did mix in toward the evening hours. Nothing sticking to the ground here in Norman. But out in western Oklahoma, it was a completely different story. Widespread totals over 4 inches, and Elk City was the winner with 7.3 inches of snow. That's a major snowstorm for Oklahoma by November standards. And now the big focus is on the cold temperatures. Current numbers in the upper 30s and 40s, and we're going to stay well below average over the next several days. And another snow chance is on the way later this week. Braden Seal will have details on that part of the forecast coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
Thanks, Josh. As we are wrapping up the midterm election, CNN exit polls are showing that one particular generation could have made an impact. OU Nightly's Bella Roddy took to the OU campus to find out why apps like TikTok and Twitter might have made the difference.
Addie, I know I'm always on my phone scrolling through social media. So that got me thinking, what if social media had an impact on the larger Gen Z voter turnouts? It's no secret. We are on our phones more than ever, but social media might just be the key to reach more voters. Gen Z had a record-breaking voter turnout for the recent election and made up around 12% of all votes nationwide. And some people think social media was a big reason why.
I think it definitely has a bigger effect on the younger voters, just because the younger voters are on social media 24/7.
And some candidates used apps like TikTok to promote their campaigns and reach voters in a different way.
Social media has a big effect on everything personally. I feel like people can be influenced in a pretty easy way.
But when I asked students which app they think more people use for political information, only one was set.
I'd say Twitter.
Twitter. Most people use Twitter, which is a terrible place to get political information because it's an opinion-based app.
But even something as simple as learning how to vote can be searched on social media and answered quickly. But in Oklahoma, voter turnout was less than it was back in 2018. And with the next state election not until May of 2023 and the presidential election not until 2024, the question of if social media will play an even bigger role than before remains unknown. From Instagram to TikTok and Twitter, social media is constantly changing, and new apps are becoming popular. So this could mean candidates might turn to social media to get more votes in upcoming elections. Reporting live, Bella Roddy, OU Nightly.
Thank you, Bella. 4 students were found dead just off campus at the University of Idaho. Catherine Liberta joins us in the news center with what weapon police say was used.
That's right, Stone. It's a scary time to be on a college campus. Authorities believe that an edged weapon, such as a knife, was used to kill those students Saturday night. While no suspect is in custody, police believe this was an isolated attack and are continuing to investigate. And the suspect in connection to the University of Virginia shooting, Christopher Darnell Jones Jr., is in custody tonight. His father is speaking to the media, saying he stands with the community, heartbroken and in disbelief.
What happened? Why did it have to get this far? He could have called me.
The gunshots that rang out on the bus left 3 football players dead, while 2 other students were injured Sunday evening. And new audio reveals that the Uvalde police chief was told during the active shooting 8 to 9 students were still alive and needed rescuing. Communication failures and the lack of leadership is what is being blamed for the 77 minutes it took to stop the gunman. 21 people, including 19 children, were killed back in May. And Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has deleted a tweet claiming Iran sentenced 15,000 protesters to death. This information was found to be false. Stone.
Thanks, Catherine. And coming up on OU Nightly, the holiday season is fast approaching.
That means you might be buying your presents soon. We'll tell you how to stay safe from card fraud.
And the retail giant Amazon has a new service. It's saving you a trip to the doctor.
Find out how Amazon Clinic can help you with nearly 24 conditions.
Is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
as the holiday season ramps up, so does credit and debit card theft. OU Nightly's Ashley Vandevelde tells us what's going on and how we can stay safe from electronic thieves.
A sight many of us all know too well. Using your card to pay for everything from essentials like groceries to fun outings on the weekend. And while we're all using our cards, the threat of fraud lurks beneath.
So I called my brother and I was like, please tell me like you didn't order like $50 worth of like food to your dorm right now. And he was like, no.
Which is exactly what happened to one OU student not even a week ago when her credit card information was stolen.
So I immediately like went and checked my bank account, saw that there was about like $78-ish that were taken. I was like, oh no, like didn't do that.
Taylor said she immediately called her bank, who issued her a new credit card and worked with her to absolve the charges. And while it seems like fraud can happen anywhere, there are some ways you can protect yourself.
A common place to have your credit card skimmed is the gas station. A report by the Federal Trade Commission this year showed that fraud was up 70% in 2021 compared to the year prior. A way to know if your credit card is possibly being skimmed at a gas station is to tug on the card reader. If it doesn't pop off, then you're good to go and insert your card and pay for your gas.
Watching your bank account and keeping track of where you use your card can be easy ways to help prevent fraud. Ashley Vandevelde, OU Nightly.
Experts say it's always wise to monitor your bank account activity and credit card statements. If you see anything unusual, file a fraud report.
After months of anticipation, NASA says they just might get people on the moon by tomorrow. Summer Miller has that story and more science and technology news.
Addie, NASA is just hours away from a third attempt at launching its Mega Moon rocket, the first phase of the Artemis mission. This will be the third attempt to bring the rocket off the ground after weather delays and technical issues. People won't be on board during this launch, but the aim of the mission is to eventually bring people to the moon. Amazon is adding another notch to its belt, healthcare. It's called Amazon Clinic, and it allows patients to talk with doctors through a message-based service. The doctor can send a treatment plan for common health conditions, even send prescriptions to the patient's pharmacy. Right now, the service does not accept insurance, and costs of care depend on the doctor. And one of the largest crypto exchange companies goes bankrupt in a matter of days. FTK was worth $32 billion before its sudden collapse. The digital currency giant CEO is under investigation after allegations of mishandling customer funds. The company benefited off several celebrity endorsements. Addie, Stone, we all know Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos as the richest men in the tech industry, but now reports are saying they're falling in the rankings. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Summer. A holiday tradition is making its way back to Norman for its second year.
Find out when and where you can enjoy this winter treat coming up.
And my walk to class this morning was on the chilly side. OU Nightly meteorologist Braden Seo has the weather forecast. Braden, what can I expect this week?
Yeah, Addie, you will have to expect cooler temperatures continuing for the rest of the week and even the possibility for snow on Friday. And I'll have more on that coming up.
To Sophia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year. And lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region, too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. Taking a live look across the South Oval right now shows beautiful blue skies out there, but don't be fooled because temperatures are in the mid-40s, so it's definitely feeling like a late fall, even a winter day out there today. And these temperatures across the state are pretty much uniform with 40s for many of us, but looking at the Panhandle, Guymon is sitting in the upper 30s today. And looking at the big picture, you can see the storm system that brought us our snow yesterday across pretty much the entire state of Oklahoma has pushed eastward and into the Midwest, bringing plenty of snow showers here across the northern tier of the country. Now, looking at these snow totals that we saw yesterday, you can see here in the metro, we saw only about a trace to a couple tenths of an inch of snow, but you push out west towards Elk City and Clinton. Elk City saw almost 8 inches of snow, so definitely a big time snow event out there. Looking at Futurecast, we could see another chance for snow on Friday. It will be light in nature, only a few flurries, so not really much in the way of accumulation, but it is a sign that winter is knocking on our door. Now, you may be wondering, with all the snow talk that we've had the last couple of days, if winter is here to stay. Well, the answer is no, because over the next 2 weeks, we'll be looking at above average temperatures returning to the central part of the country. But before then, we do have to deal with these cold temperatures, lows tonight dipping down into the 20s here in the metro and even some teens in northwest Oklahoma. Highs tomorrow will rebound into the 40s for much of us. And a lot of questions are about this game day forecast because it's Bedlam weekend. So this weekend, we're going to be talking about temperatures in the 40s for tailgate, dipping down into the lower 40s for kickoff, and then dipping down into the 30s toward the end of the game. And our 7-day forecast shows 40-degree temperatures for tomorrow under sunny skies, rising a little bit into the 50s on Thursday, and then dipping way down into the mid-30s on Friday with that chance for snow, but there probably won't be much in the way of accumulation. And then temperatures slowly starting to warm back up as we head into next week with 50s by Monday and Tuesday. So Stone and Addie, you will have to keep those coats handy for the rest of the week, and there will be a chance for snow on Friday. Over to you.
Thanks, Braden. Holiday festivities are beginning to move into town, including an ice skating rink now open here in Norman. Crest on Ice invites locals to come out and lace up their skates for the second year in the parking lot of Crest Foods. The ice rink hosts school fundraisers and other events to help provide fun opportunities and give back to the community.
Having a business where you can bring joy to people and then be able to give back to those who need it too, and give them an experience that not everyone will get in their lifetime. So that's my favorite part.
Crest on Ice will remain open through the first week of January.
And OU is still looking to become bowl eligible as Oklahoma State comes to Norman this weekend.
And a former Sooner QB suffered his first loss on Monday Night Football last night. Jimmy Wicks joins us with more.
OU basketball is in full swing, and I'll show you why Porter Moser says you matter. And officially, it's Bedlam Week, and our own Hallie Moss gives us a preview on the historic matchup. Coming up next on Sports.
Your family. If a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane, you can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza. Yes.
Make a plan today.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Wicks, and it's time for sports. For the 117th time, OU will battle with bitter in-state rival Oklahoma State. OU Nightly's own Hallie Moss gives us a preview on the historic rivalry.
It's officially Bedlam Week, but after the first loss to West Virginia since they entered the Big 12, Oklahoma head coach Brent Venables is taking responsibility for mistakes made during that game and throughout the season.
You're talking about the mistakes and the discipline and things of that nature. All of that, it begins and ends with me, and that's my responsibility. And obviously, I'm doing a very poor job of managing all of that.
Venables isn't new to the Bedlam matchup, saying that the 1999 meeting between the two was like a Super Bowl. But this is a new experience for many players this year.
For some, it'll mean a little more because maybe they did grow up in this state, and we got a lot of guys that have never played in this game. This is always a great rivalry. There's great intensity and passion in the stadium. You all know that, whether it's at their place or our place. We do have some really good leaders that have been a part of this series and understand the importance of it and the value of it.
Kickoff is Saturday in primetime right here at the Palace. Reporting from Gaylord Family Memorial Stadium, Hallie Moss, OU Nightly.
And on the hardwood, the Sooners continue their early season schedule against UNC Wilmington. The game will take place tonight at the LNC, and following last week's first win of the season, Porter Moser is looking to the Sooner faithful for support for tonight's game.
I really want to thank the fans. It wasn't like it was packed, but the ones that were there were really loud. I mean, we just need to get more. And like the students, I thought had great energy. I was, they were going crazy when the other team was shooting free throws, and man, I appreciate that. And we needed that, so they'll come back and we get more. I mean, we got to continue to try to get a home court advantage. The people that were there were great, and I thank them for coming back after a tough loss.
And in the Boston TD Garden, the defending Eastern Conference champions Celtics hosted the Thunder Monday night. OKC pushed them to the limit, but Marcus Smart dropped 20 in the second half to take the win 126-122. And for the undefeated Eagles hosted the Commanders Monday night, Jalen Hurts showed out in the starting at the 1-yard touchdown, then later hit up that Bama connection to Devontae Smith to cut it to 3 in the fourth. Then with 1:45 left in the game, Philly hit Heineke to hit the ice to ice the game 32-21. In other news in the NFL, Sooner Dede Westbrook is headed to Green Bay. Back to you.
Yeah, Jimmy, I'm definitely excited to see Dede finally back in the league. Addie, I know you did a story on that food truck. Hopefully that stays open.
I don't know. I don't know his future with the food truck, but he was really nice, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him on the Packers. The OKC Memorial Marathon is expanding with a new race announcement.
Hear how you can lace up your shoes and get active when OU Nightly returns.
To Sofia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Central and Midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are, they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
I'm Snow Forth at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Mustang Public Schools has just let parents and teachers know that the damaged gas line has been repaired. Mustang Horizon Intermediate and Middle School were evacuated earlier today due to a gas leak nearby. They say school will resume tomorrow without any disruption. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Snow. The Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon just announced it's expanding.
For those 65 and up, they can now walk or run 25 miles between January and race day.
On the day of the marathon, April 29th, they'll get to complete the last 1.2 miles.
Each participant receives a shirt, a gold medal, and one free ticket to the museum.
And let's get one last look at the forecast.
Addie, right now temperatures are in the mid-40s, but these will cool off quite a bit as we head into the evening, cooling down into the 30s by 6 p.m. and then continuing to drop, and we'll be reaching the 20s tonight, overnight tonight after midnight. Now looking at the 7-day forecast, you can see temperatures do warm up by Thursday, but they cool down quite a bit by Friday. And if it's going to be cold, it might as well snow, right? So there's a chance for that on Friday, and then temperatures do warm up by next week. Over to you at the desk.
Thanks, Braden, and thank you for tuning in to OU Nightly.
We're live every weekday at 4:30 from Gaylord Hall.
Good night.
Is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood,